So it's been a really long week. My family's in the process of moving, and with a family of 4, that's always a lot of work. And I would say it's probably a lot of work for people that don't have families of 4, that have less people than that, because you just accumulate so much stuff. And in this process, I've come to some really painful realizations that I need to do something drastic about where I'm at with my parenting and our family lifestyle, and that we just need to make a lot of big changes. And so this is kind of the crossroads for my family, not just for me as an individual, but for my husband and I as parents, just trying to decide what kind of lifestyle we want for our children, and recognizing that the lifestyle we have now is not really the best type of lifestyle to support them. We're having to look at things like the amount of time we spend together as a family, opportunities for connection that aren't really there right now, a lack of structure for our children, and so forth. There's just a lot of things that we've really had to come to terms with. You know, this journey really began several years ago when we started with the mindful habit system. And first it began with repairing our sense of self, each of us looking within, each of us learning through the different tools of the mindful habit system to create awareness of how we were living, each of us learning to just have a sense of identity for the first time in our lives that was strong and wasn't driven by some outside force, but that was driven more by what was going on internally, and being aware of that. First, we had to look at our love for self, and we had to recognize that we didn't really know ourselves. And through the subpersonality dialogue and all the things that we've done through the mindful habit system, we've been able to see that more clearly, who we were, and to understand who we were more clearly. And I'm so grateful for that. But now I recognize that the work is not done, and that there's still more to do. There's still more work to be done. There's still growth that needs to take place. And the longer I'm in this, the more I realize that this is a lifelong process that's never going to end. But just because it's a lifelong process doesn't mean I have to stay stuck. I have to stay stuck in some toxic situation or toxic way of being. And like I said, even though I feel that my husband and I, obviously our marriage has been saved by this process, my mental health is in much better, I'm in a much better position mental health wise. He and I both have more confidence. Our relationship, we have trust and passion and commitment. But now we're ready for the next phase. And the next phase for us is examining how our upbringing has impacted our relationship with our children, and how we parent, and how we live our lives as a family. So I just want to encourage you, if you're watching this today, to recognize that this isn't something that just happens overnight. If you're on a journey of personal growth, if you started down the mindful habit system because you want to escape addiction, it doesn't have to end there, that growth. It doesn't have to just be sobriety and that's it. There should be, ideally, a different way of living that springs out of this, a different way of being that leads you to this path of personal growth and leads you to a place where you can just be really honest with yourself and be really raw and really real with yourself, and recognize other areas that need work, and recognize other aspects of your life that might be holding you back. So maintaining sobriety and starting down this path is just the beginning. And that shouldn't be discouraging. That should be encouraging, because you will be joined on this journey by people who care. And they'll care because they've done the personal work too. They've done the work of looking within. They've done the work of falling in love with themselves, of getting acquainted with themselves, of developing a stronger sense of identity. And that enables them to show up more in your life with more of an idea of what it means to love someone, to support someone fully, to be a mindful friend, to be a mindful support system for you. So I just want to encourage you, if you haven't sought help for your addiction, or if you've sought help for your addiction through other means, or for your compulsive behavior, or for your shame and guilt issues surrounding sexuality, whatever the problem may be, if you haven't sought help for that, I believe the Mindful Habit System has something for you. We offer programs for men and women. I work with men and women both who struggle with compulsive behaviors of any type. And I love to work with people in helping them form a stronger identity and understand their sexuality and get away from the shame that often comes with that, depending upon how they've been raised. I also love to work with partners of people who are struggling with compulsive behaviors and addictions, because they need just as much support. And often both parties are interested in keeping the relationship intact, and not only keeping it intact, but rebuilding trust and being in a much better and healthier place in their relationship, so that they can hopefully move forward and stay together. So that's my passion, is to help the partners and to help the people struggling with compulsive or addictive behaviors, or whatever the problem may be, and helping them come together and move forward. So I encourage you to look into our programs, and you can email me at Tara@FeedTheRightWolf if you want to know more. I offer free consultations to anybody who is interested. And we also have a couple online programs, which myself and 3 of the coaches for the Mindful Habit System, including Craig Para, who is the founder of the Mindful Habit System, help run the men's program. That's an online program, and that includes 4 to 5 group coaching calls a week. It has an online forum and online materials that you can work through as part of that program. We also have just recently started offering a partner program, which offers 3 group coaching calls a week, a forum, the staff by me, and then special events. And there's also written materials in the works for that. So I'm really excited about all the possibilities for those of you who are interested in getting help. And I hope that you will. And I hope that you'll join us on this journey of personal growth, because that's really what it's about. It's about creating a great life. It's about moving away from addiction instead of cowering in the corner in fear of it and trying to white knuckle it through life. There's more to recovery than that. If you get into the Mindful Habit System, you'll find a positive approach, a goal-driven approach, an approach that helps you live mindfully. And it's a lot different from many of the approaches out there for addiction, and I think you'll find it refreshing, and there's hope in our approach. There's hope for recovery, there's hope for living a great life, and for looking at yourself outside of the lens of addict. So I hope you'll just contact us and get the help you need. Thanks for listening.